Mount Parnitha is a densely forested mountain range north of Athens, the highest on the peninsula of Attica, with an elevation of 1,413 meters, and a summit known as Karavola. Much of the mountain is designated a national park, and is a protected habitat for wildfowl, first created in 1961. The summit is located 18 kilometers N of Acharnae and about 30 kilometers N of Athens, while the mountain covers approximately 250 square kilometers of land. Other peaks include Mavrovouni, Ornio area, Avgo, Ornio, and Xerovouni. It also has two shelters, Mpafi and Flampouri. The name of the mountain dates back to ancient times, when it was under the ancient demes of Acharnae and Dicelia. Geography. Towns surrounding the mountain include Aspropergos, Phyle, Achans, Varimbombi, Thracomakedones, Decalia, Aflona and Stephanos, as well as the settlement of Mercurios. The highway GR1 surrounds the northern and eastern part of the mountain along with the Cephasis River, while the Attica-Odios motorway runs to its south. The mountain offers panoramic views of the mountains northeast of Parnitha, Penteli to the east, the Dimitris to the southeast, the Avgho to the south and another to the west. From its summit, one can also see the Thracian plain, the Saronic Gulf including the islands of Salamina, Aegina, and the north, the South Euboean Gulfs and island of Euboea, and most of central and northern Greater Athens. The view during clear days can extend to northern Boeotia and the Peloponnese. The mountain was also affected by several major blizzards, including two in 2005 and 2006, stranding cars and closing roads, as well as the cable car. Ecology. Forests of Aleppo pine cover all slopes beneath 1,000 meters altitude, and are often threatened by forest fires, such as occurred in 2005 and 2007. Above 1,000 meters it is covered principally in Greek fir, grasses and shrubbery, and beneath 300 meters mainly farmlands and suburban housing. To the east, about 1,000 species of plants can be found on the mountain, including crocus and tulips, and the mountain also provides a native habitat to its red deer, which were known in ancient times. After the traumatic fire in 2007, they are even more scarce. Several large mines lie to the northwest, and the ore from them was shipped to a nearby factory in industrial areas. Historical monuments and places of interest. Parnitha has many places with archaeological interest. Most usual ancient buildings in Parnitha are the fortresses. In antiquity, many fortresses had been built on the mountain, for the Athenian defense opposite the Boeotians and others enemies from the north. Today some fortresses kept in good condition, such as the Phyle fortress, built at a height of 687 meters in the west of Parnitha. Other notable fortresses of the Panacton, in the area of Divinicaria, and Eleutheri fortress near Mount Cithaeron. Notable monument of later periods is the monastery of Cleiston. It is a Byzantine monastery dated from 13th century. It is mentioned by Pope Innocent IV in 1209 with the name Monastery of Kyres. Southeast of Parnitha, inside a dense forest, Tatoi Palace is located. It was the palaces of Greek royal family and it was built in 19th century. Today it is abandoned. Parnitha has also natural monuments. The Cave of Panis is located on the west slopes of the mountain at a height of 750 meters. It was worship site in antiquity. Near the cave there is the steep gorge of Gouras and the gorge of Kelidonas River. Beautiful site of the mountain is Belatsi Lake. It is located on the east slopes of the mountain, near Aphidnus, and it is an important place for migratory birds. modern facilities. A casino, the Montparnasse Casino, is located near the top of the mountain and is served by a suspended cable car. Two shelters are also located on Parnitha, the most known of which is Mpafi. A series of trails are found around the mountain as well as forest roads, and also on the mountain is Athens' second transmitter, broadcasting radio and television since the mid-1950s, across the range of television channels from ERT, ANT1, Mega, Alta and more, to satellite, including Supersport, 7X and FilmNet, and a multitude of radio including Era Radio, Click FM, ANT1 Radio, Ciao FM, Rhythmos, Supersport FM, Top FM and others. The supporting road connection was paved in the mid-20th century. 2007 wildfire. Parnitha suffered extensive damage from a wildfire on Thursday, June 28, 2007 around the morning and noon hours, continuing for several days and burning approximately 56 square kilometers of land, one of the worst recorded wildfires in the prefecture after that of Penteli. The magnitude of the devastation was unforeseen. A smaller fire had, however, taken place in the 1960s. The fire consumed forests in two prefectures. Firefighters, helicopters, and planes were brought into action across the mountain area and its edges fighting the enormous blaze, which took days to contain. It spread rapidly with the help of intense winds, and intensified into the northwestern edges of Greater Athens, including both Ano-Leosia and towns and villages such as Phili, near Thracomakedones, Pyli and both Skora and Shimotari north of the mountain. From Athens, inhabitants could see the mountainside burning throughout the night. In Shimotari in Boeotia, it ruined several acres of forest and businesses. The fire claimed an 80% proportion of the rare Greek fir and Aleppo pine forest, 150 animals of the red deer population, birds, and other rare animals. The remains of the green firs and pines are sporadically located around its edges. The smoke from the massive destruction formed a line that traveled east over Attica, southern Euboea, Chios, to the edge of Turkey, at a distance of approximately 350 kilometers. On June 30, the fire was mostly contained and warnings of new ones were reduced, as only a few fires were slowly burning sporadically in separate parts of the mountain. The main blaze was completely put out on July 1. At the edges of the burnt parts, several fires slowly continued to burn in sections after June 30, with a slow expansion. Scientists estimate the area's recovery time may be as long as a century. They predict the effect of the loss will only begin to be felt in the coming years. The air may become a little stale and the already known problems of air pollution and smog in Athens may reappear and intensify. Temperatures could also rise and flooding may become a problem for several years. The Ministry of Environment is currently considering a conclusive reforestation program, while many citizens plan to march on the streets of Athens to express their disapproval of the handling of the situation. More recently, forestation has been underway, and the government will be receiving tens of thousands of trees to be planted around the mountains, most of them from outside the country. Investigations are still underway as to the fire's cause. One scenario suggests a transformer belonging to a major power line exploded due to overuse and overheating by the 47C heatwave, some days prior to the fire. Another holds that this was one of the many arson attacks that have claimed forested land in Greece over recent decades. Bibliography. Ernst Mayr, Parnes, N.